This is the most epic and tragic duel in all of the history of Star Wars. Come with me to check out Korbanth's The Duel. Hey nerds, welcome back to the Fellowship of the Nerds, Megabanin. I am your host as always, Luke Skywalker. And like I said at the beginning, we have a really special one. This is Korbanth's latest release. This is The Duel. This is a set that comes with Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi's lightsabers from Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And this thing is absolutely cool. This is the exact replica to the stunt editions that they used while filming the movies. And it's out of this world. It's not your replica lightsabers from, the hero versions. These are the stunt versions. If you know your lore of the movies, you know that there's something really special about them. So we're gonna unbox these, and I'm gonna be walking you through it on the video because these are really fantastic. And as usual, when we get Korbanth's limited editions, you're gonna get this amazing box with imagery from Mustafar, silhouettes of our heroes, quotes on the sides. On this side says over Anakin, I have the high ground. You also have this at the bottom. You have more quotes on the other side. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then inside you're gonna get, first of all, this, and I'm gonna start with these because if you're a regular of the channel, I would love our plaques here. So this is a Korbanth plaque, which is very, very cool. And this is a plaque, very, very metal as well, for Nick Gillard, so you can get autographed. I think Nick is going to be on Celebration, but he does a lot of conventions, and this is just the image of him doing, like choreographing their fights. It made perfect sense to have this, so you can get it signed by Nick. You're gonna get your pommel caps, because right now it has the ones with the vent, but these are the display ones. And you're gonna get, let me take this off, it's kind of easier. So you're gonna get your emitters, and these emitters are for the rods. The only big thing that you have to have in mind is that this one, for everyone, you're gonna have to, it's basically it's two pieces, and you just put them, you're gonna have to remove this in order to put that one. But then the Anakin one is just as simple as, you grab from here and you just unscrew this and you replace it with that. And they both have retention screws, so they'll be very, very safe. Now, in terms of chassis access, very simple. You just unscrew here for Anakin, and here you go. Absolutely cool. And remember to charge these whenever you get them, because they'll be sent with a 2% battery or so. So get them 6-8 hours overnight, and you'll be good to go. And then the Obi-Wan is my favorite, because the Obi-Wan does come off all the way, as you're about to see, and it can only go one way, so the buttons have to be aligned that way. But look at this thing.
Hello there.
With the crystal and everything. Absolutely cool, guys. I absolutely love it. So once you put it in,
Hello there.
the usual stuff as they all usually work. Let me turn this off. Do a saber battery. And that's it. If you want your pommel cap, you just, for display, you just swap them with these. Absolutely fine. Now, these are very, very heavy. These are probably the heaviest lightsabers I've had in hand. And let me just put the box to a side so I can show you exactly what I mean by that. We're going to bring our scale here, and we're going to grab our Anakin. And our Anakin is, look at that, 939 grams, 938 grams. Well, it goes back to 939. With whatever that is in ounces. I'll put that on the screen and you'll be seeing it right now. And the Obi-Wan is definitely heavier. It's almost 1,300 grams, 1 kilo, 281 grams. Really heavy, but they feel so they feel real. If that makes any sense, they feel like the real deal. So you have to have in mind that these are exact replicas to the one Ewan and Hayden use on screen. So they're absolutely phenomenal. As always, Korbanth has knocked it out of the park. And we're going to be talking a bit more about the lore of these editions and everything. But just wanted you guys to see what you're going to get, because what you're going to get is phenomenal. And here they are. Look at these things, nerds. This thing is fantastic. Both of them are. These things are amazing. Now, these, you already seen here the difference with the buttons. You already seen the difference on the hilts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, for each of them, I'm going to bring the Hero Edition so we can compare them. Okay, first up, we have Anakin Skywalker's. Now, obviously, you can see here the control box. It's very obvious. But you can see the difference even on the emitter. See the emitter being quite different, much more elongated. Doesn't have the buttons on either side. Not only on the control box, but also the buttons up here, they're gone. The bunny ears are there, but that's about it. And as you can see, it's significantly larger than the Hero Edition. And this is going to be the case for Obi-Wan as well. And here's the comparison. This is Obi-Wan's Hero Edition from 89 Sabers that you can get at Korbanth, and you can get definitely in other places as well, but obviously you can get in Korbanth. So if you want to get the hero and the stunt, you'll be able to have that. And you can already see the differences. Not only in the control box, but you can see the differences on the thin neck. It's definitely nowhere near as thin. You can see the difference on the emitter. You can see the difference on the pommel. Well, the pommels are very similar, but there's no adapter, there's no Convertech and anything like that. You can see that, you know, nowhere near as shiny or anything. And you can see that also the grips are entirely different. And of course, just like the Anakin, this one is significantly longer. Now, this obviously has an explanation. When they film the movies, and you obviously would know this lore by now, but if not, indulge me here so I explain a little bit for you, those of you that don't know. When they filmed the movies, obviously they didn't have, now when they filmed the sequels, they had pixel blades, so they were able to capture photorealistic lightning on camera of what it would have looked like if, you know, those blades were on. But back in those days, everything had to be done through CG. So they would use rods, and those rods were very good. They were much better than the ones that they had used on episode 1. And episode 1, essentially after a few hits, they had to keep changing them because they will bend. By episode 3, they had come up with carbon fiber rods that were much more durable and resistant. Of course, we've all seen the battle, so we know that duel gets really, really intense. You needed something that was way more resistant. But of course, they needed something that would fit those and that be comfortable to use. That wouldn't, because these, full disclosure, I've never liked stunt editions because I think they don't look you know, real, like these, well, real, like these do. But I do recognize if you're going to be dueling, you know, you're going to be doing stunts if you're filming this movie, this thing will get incredibly in the way with these control boxes and stuff. So this makes perfect sense. Now, big difference with the Korbanth one, besides of, you know, obviously being a stunt edition, is that these are exact replicas to the ones that they use, the ones that Ewan and Hayden use, being trained by Nick Gillard. And you can tell, like, the weight of these, you already seen it on the unboxing, the weight of this is ridiculous. I have them both in one hand, and this is easily 2 of these sabers on one, weight-wise. So they're incredibly, like, they feel real. Just to give you an idea, let me compare this with the carbon steel version of the episode 4 of this, which does have that huff and that weight. Now this is episode 4's Obi-Wan Kenobi Carbon Steel 89 Sabers Weather Edition. We're already seeing this one on May the 4th. We put this review, and this thing is one of my favorite sabers. And I can tell you right now, even hold them on hand, I can tell you for sure that this feels heavier in hand, and this already feels heavy as it is. So this thing, for me, of all the, you know, replicas that I have, is the one that, you know, when I hold it in hand, it feels like I have the real deal. Now this is an entirely different thing. This thing, if you were carrying around, right, and using it, let me put it this way, after a while your arms will definitely get tired because it's that heavy, and it's that realistic, if you will. That, of course, was meant to be on purpose because these things need to be really resilient for the beating that they were going to get in the movies. And I'm pretty thrilled to say that Korbanth has done a phenomenal job in terms of bringing us an identical replica. This thing is exactly as the one that Ewan and Hayden used in the movie. I know that you've seen these out there from other vendors. I think LGT does a version of these particular ones, because obviously there's a bazillion Stunt Edition Obi-Wan and Anakin that have come out through the years. But these, the ones that are meant to be like the replicas of the movie, they're already I've already seen a few out there, but these are hands down the most exact replica from the ones that they used on set while they were filming episode 3. So if you want to feel like you were there, if you want to feel like you own a part of Star Wars history and Star Wars lore, this is absolutely a must. But don't just take my word from it. For let's go outside. I'm going to put blades on this. I'm going to put pixel blades on these. You're going to get, if you buy this the dual set, you're going to get the carbon rods, the carbon fiber rods. So you're going to be able to use them exactly like they used them on the sets of episode 3. But you also get, with these, you also get the version that will take the 7/8 of an inch blade, and you'll be able to use them as you use any other lightsabers of the ones that we use. But these have that particularity that you're going to be able to use them with the, you're going to be able to change all of this, put the adapter for the carbon fiber rod, and then you're going to be able to use them exactly like they did in the movie, which I think it's insanely cool. And unless I'm mistaken, I think these are the only ones where you're going to be able to do exactly that. So again, just on that alone, you already have part of the answer as to if these are worthy. But like I said, let's put plates on these, take them outside, and let's try to give that duel a little bit of a spin.
I will do what I must.
You will try.
Now tell me that that is not incredibly cool. These things are sublime. They're exceptionally awesome. And I just want to bring them back inside just to give you a flavor of what they, look and feel under the lights. But the outside test in the dark, I think it's really fantastic. Now these will come, as you've seen the unboxing, with display pommel caps, but obviously we're using them without those. We're using this so you can get the sound through, because otherwise that'd be really weird review, wouldn't it? So let's just try them on again. This thing is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. You have, all the usual sound fonts. You have your force effects and all that, so absolutely cool. And of course, you will get all the sound fonts from Korbanth that are usually a reverse sound font. So let's go very quickly through them, just so you know what you're getting if you're getting these, which I hope that you do. This obviously starts with Obi-Wan, does it make sense?
Don't make me kill you.
And it goes to Anakin, where the Anakin will be the other way around.
Master Yoda, you survived.
You are under arrest, my lord. Good. Twice the pride, double the fall.
You were right about one thing, Master. The negotiations were short.
Finding him was the will of the Force. I have no doubt of that.
How did you feel when I gutted your master?
Obi-Wan is a great mentor. As wise as Master Yoda and as powerful as Master Windu. Sometimes we must let go of our pride and do what is requested of us.
Surely you can do better.
There's nothing for me here now. I want to learn the ways of the Force and become a Jedi like my father.
It's treason, then.
This is a dangerous time for you, when you will be tempted by the dark side of the Force.
Your skills are complete. The Emperor has been expecting you. And when I kill you, I will have killed the last Jedi.
Right. If it is won by creed in battle, It is said one warrior will defeat 20, and the multitudes will fall before it.
Won't our alliance with Throne finally bring us into power? I'm an old friend of the family.
The name's Ahsoka Tano.
Do or do not. There is no try.
Is that really Ezra?
Most of the time.
Kanan Jarrus, Jedi Knight.
We were pawns in the same war. And we all lost.
I've sacrificed too much to be met with silence.
Surely you are not so foolish as to make the same mistake. I will never again have a master.
I will kill you if I must, but I sense that you will not make that necessary.
Hey, if you want to do business with the slug, it's none of my concern.
Revan never fell.
The Dark Lord, Revan.
As the Jedi Code teaches us, there is no emotion. There is peace. Remember those words when times are darkest.
Fall, traitor!
I was taught that we always have a choice in how we respond to misfortune.
I will hunt you down.
My mission is complete, Master.
Then you are ready to stand with me against the Emperor.
You have much to learn.
If they came to hear me beg, they will be disappointed.
Bone. Earth. Fire.
Flesh. Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power. I, the Samlung, so pancreas, so many snacks, so little time.
Water.
I think that's the last one.
Your move.
There we go. So these are the standard ones that you're going to get on Korbanth, of course. We've seen them on the videos, but I just thought that it was worth to have them on this so you can know the entire experience that you're going to get if you get these. Now, you're going to ask me, are they really worth the money? Well, you've already seen them outside. You've seen them inside. You heard them. I've given you a story about the lore. I've told you what you're going to get in the box. I'll tell you what you're going to get if you buy the entire set with the rods and everything and the rod adapters. So all of that is good and fine, but let's break these down so you know exactly what you're dealing with. And I'm going to begin with the sign. And I think the sign, these things are going to get a 10. These things are exactly like they should look like. So visually, if I were to say, do not do this because this would not be honest. But if you were going to like put these out there and said like these were like, you know, as actually movie used props, they could pass, maybe with some more weathering, but like they could pass because they are identical to the ones that were used on set by you and Hayden on episode 3 as coordinated by Nick Gillard. So in that sense, they get a 10. I mean, they should get a 12 because they are phenomenal. But the downside to that, and obviously I'm trying to be as honest and as transparent here as I can, that means that ergonomics, these things are heavy. So these things to move around, they're not going to be as comfortable and easy to be moving around like you would, you know, the hero versions. So there is that, and you do have to appreciate that. But in all fairness, I have had lightsabers before that were hefty, and you know, a couple of them come to mind. Soul, the Stranger, these were sabers that were definitely heavy, just to name a few. So Kestis crossguards from the XU, definitely a heavy one. So they're, you know, it's not that it's unique to these, but because they're trying to be as accurate as possible, obviously that means that they're gonna have a real, like, you know, weight to it, a real huff to them. So there is that, and that means that in ergonomics is only going to get an 8.5. But you are gaining on design. These things are exactly as they should be. And when it comes to sound, I mean, you heard it outside, but you could also hear it here without, you know, ambient noise, if you will. They're perfectly loud enough that you will be able to hear them if you're, say, in a convention, if you're outside. Not a problem. They never get too loud that they'll distort the speaker or they'll come across like too overwhelming. Everything is exactly as you know. It's absolutely fine. So in terms of sound, and of course they have the right sound fonts for the characters, plus all the other amazing sound fonts that Korbanth also always includes. Like you already know, they include around 30 sound fonts, and usually at around $10 per sound font. So you're getting really your money's worth. Most of that, so the sound is going to be a 10. So if you put all of those together, you get, as you can see here, is above a 9, which is obviously a clear sign that, and I say this for, I'm holding Obi-Wan in hand, but like, of course, I'll say the same thing for Anakin. That means that they're both recommended for the Fellowship of the Nerds. Now, in terms of acquiring this, you're going to see that Korbanth sells them in a lot of different configurations. So you can get just one, either Obi-Wan or Anakin, install, empty, however you prefer. If you get the set with both installed, you're gonna get the carbon rods. You're gonna get the adapters for the carbon rods. So the carbon fiber rods. So you're gonna get the whole shebang. In any case, whichever configuration you end up wanting to go, if you're gonna get the entire set of the Duel, you're gonna be able to use our discount code to claim 20% off of this, which means that even at the highest configuration, which I think is the entire pack, you're gonna be looking at around over $200 less in total price, which is, I think, is a good thing because these things are really, really amazing. And like I said, if you compare them to any others that we've seen that have come out relatively recent, that are, you know, the replicas from the movies, these things are by far way superior to anything out there. So they are 100% recommended. If you want to have a piece of history, you want to get something that you're going to get eventually Nick Gillard to sign in any of the many cons that he attends, this is a set for you guys, so absolutely recommend it. And nerds, that's been our review. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope that you find it useful. I hope that you find it insightful. I hope that you're going to be picking this set up, and I hope that you pick the entire thing because this is a rivalry that's so tragic but so epic that if you're going to live this, you have to live it to the full. You have to live it on both Obi-Wan's camp and Anakin's camp. Like, definitely we're going to do it, the Fellowship of the Nerds, because there's really no other way of doing it. Nerds, I've been your host as always, Luke Skywalker. Remember, the Force will be with you always. Remember to live long and prosper, and may the odds be ever in your favor, Melanin. And until we meet again, mischief managed. I'll see you around, nerds.